Good morning, respectful judges and audiences. My name is Shannon, and here's my teammate, Kevin. We're from Gambut team, Bina Nusantara University, Indonesia. As can be seen in our case title, today we're going to discuss about a notorious Indonesian company, Halodoc. Before diving into the case, let's take a look to what was happening in a district in Papua Island, Indonesia, Manokwari district, which portrays the best condition of the complex health issues in Indonesia. Due to the diverse and rugged topography, Manokwari district has very limited access to the healthcare. Imagine living in a district and having a sick child. So, if you need doctor's help, you must take the bus, 8 hours of drive to the main hospital in the capital city. And during that 8 hours, imagine how your child's situation might get worse, especially as some of the most common diseases in that island are fatal and need fast help, like malaria, diarrhea, and dengue fever. A sad truth, but more ironically, this is only one case on a single island of the other 17,508 islands in Indonesia. This becomes the major problem in Indonesia that needs to be fixed. The main question is, what can I do to simplify the healthcare accessibility and how to do it? This is the same picturization taken as the reasons of Halodoc's initiation in 2016 to engrave humanity in the common problem. But moreover, we started analyzing this case for several points of significance. First is to unveil the power within the health tech companies. Second is to understand how Halodoc can balance their social impact and profit as a sociopreneur business. And lastly, to make dent in Asia's businesses about how Halodoc started with local problem but able to bring up the world-class solution, especially regarding the health as the basic pillar of every Asian nations.
All the background conclude to our agenda today. Our main discussion will be summed up to the presentation roadmap. First, we are going to talk about the introduction, which consists of industry overview and milestones. Second, we are going to talk about the key success factors that will be explained thoroughly in the third and fourth part, which are the POP approach and the threat and challenges. In the POP approach, we are going to break down Halodoc strategies to help aiding the health issues for POP segment in Indonesia. Meanwhile, in the threat and challenges, we are going to explain each strategies by Halodoc during the pre-pandemic, pandemic, and post-pandemic phase. Lastly, we are going to conclude our presentation with the road ahead for Halodoc and things to learn from the success story. Let's get closer with the founder of Halodoc, Jonathan Sudarta, as the crown prince of the well-known Indonesian pharmacy company named Mensa Group. But he didn't get his best path away. He started his journey by being a medicine salesperson in his father's company. While queuing with the other patients for doctor appointment, he communicated with many patients about their hardship and helped to send messages from patient to the doctor once he entered the room. Although his life could be stable by his father's inheritance, still, he stepped out of his comfort zone. Jonathan's work ethics, such as the altruistic drive, compassion spirit, and perseverance, has made his dream into reality. Jonathan aimed to innovate through Halodoc, a teleconsulting and telemedicine app that Indonesian citizen has never wondered before. That is why, by the initiation, the biggest challenges for Halodoc is to make people aware what is the need and to envision Jonathan's dream through people's eyes. He said, when there is problem, seek for solution, but don't fall in love with the solution. Fall in love with the problem so that you will always care about people's collective needs and solve them by that spirit. Through the work ethics, Jonathan has brought Halodoc to several key milestones. Halodoc was listed as the 60 in the world top 100 health tech companies along with Johnson & Johnson and Illumina. Halodoc has also raised more than $178 million from its investors. And until now, Halodoc has gathered more than 20 million monthly active users in more than 200 cities in Indonesia. Here are the services offered inside Halodoc application. In every specific features meets, Halodoc aims on adjusting with the needs of the audience. Halodoc also offers insurance connections to make easy transaction with a partner. During the innovation, Halodoc has gathered several partnerships with major hospitals, insurance, pharmacies, and medical personnel in Indonesia as follows.
Next, here are the key success factors that brought Halodoc to the crackerjack. First, the will to work beyond the profit. A healthy, functioning business is a business that works not only for the profit, but to make positive dent in the society. Halodoc had a humble, audience-centered beginning to simplify the healthcare accessibility for people and places in Indonesia. But Halodoc's approach to contribute to the society had not only impacted on the BOP's empowerment, but also to improve profit by partnerships, positive publicity, and building sense of morality purpose for the employees. Second, the speedy adaptation to changes. Businesses must have great adaptation ability as the world situation may changes beyond the things they could predict with algorithms. Third, scalability, reliability, and security are the three principles that concludes Halodoc's strategy. The will to go beyond the profit and capacity to increase size are a part of the scalability. The ability to adapt in changes were the result of reliability, being consistent on performing well regardless the shifting situation. And last, security is also the key vector on grabbing loyal customers' trust while boosting the business scale and innovations. Let's talk about how Halodoc was able to go hand in hand with government to cater the BOP segment of Indonesia's population. Indonesian government established the National Health Insurance, or JKN, to target those population. But due to the limited capital, JKN has to prioritize it either for the extremely impoverished people or people with acute diseases. However, Indonesia's population contains a huge number of lower to towards middle class who are not extremely impoverished but still unable to afford the hospital costs. If the JKN recipient is not extremely ill or unconscious, they are not able to get their feet tapped on the hospital ground. In this matter, Halodoc came up as a solution by allowing people to consult with doctors remotely if the diagnosis is able to be handled in-house. Now talking about the 4P of the marketing mix, Halodoc shifted it to the BOP marketing mix. Price to affordability, promotion to awareness, product to accessibility, and place to availability. Halodoc considers the affordability through the low cost of remote services, awareness through the mainstream media, accessibility and availability through technology, simplifying healthcare. Halodoc allocated the profit to stay low profile and position itself as a friend that cares.
Next, let's explain all those key factors in a timely manner. We divide the key turning point in three eras, which are the pre-pandemic era, pandemic era, and post-pandemic era. First is the pre-pandemic era. The objective in this era is to make people aware of the need of the Halodoc application. The three strategies used to reach this objective are being agile and adaptive, innovative, working through strategic partnership, and technology usage. First is being agile, adaptive, and innovative. Let's take a look to the pie chart shown on the presentation. In 2016, Indonesian sectoral market share doesn't include health tech company. The established demand and market were focused only on the e-commerce companies like Lazada and Tokopedia, and fintech company like Zendit and Kredivo. There was no adoption of health tech at all, and therefore, Halodoc will become the first leading company to jump into the sector. It is very important for Halodoc to transfer innovation through people's mind. For the innovators, the biggest mistakes mostly comes from the marketing myopia that happens when companies are too much focusing on innovation and development, yet neglecting what do the customer need. In this case, Halodoc must as well cater the needs of the Indonesian people. Halodoc has to innovate strategically because innovation that doesn't meet the needs of people means nothing. Simplifying healthcare has always been the dream of the Indonesians. However, to make them understand that the dream has come to reality is another challenge for Halodoc. During this period, Halodoc grew their exposure through providing educational content in their blogs and website. Second is the strategic partnership. To spread out brand awareness efficiently, Halodoc was able to build a strong ecosystem through strategic partnership. Halodoc was first aware of Indonesian people behavior pattern, which has a high dependency rate to the government. Therefore, Halodoc started to build partnership with government and successfully achieved the title as government first and only health partner. Other than that, Halodoc has also partnered with the other unicorn startup like Gojek and Allianz Insurance to complement Halodoc features and credibility as Indonesian top of mind. Third, the use of technology. Halodoc took opportunity on the increasing smartphone usage rate and internet penetration of Indonesia population. However, Halodoc was also aware of low digital literacy rate of the population. In response to this, Halodoc tried to make friendly UI UX inside the application. This will reduce the bounce back rate of the application users. It is very important to do a market research about what people like of and what could be taken as an opportunity.
Second is during the pandemic era. Similar to lockdown, Indonesia also has their own large-scale social restriction. Although the pandemic was supposed to be a catastrophe for businesses, it is a clear opportunity for health tech companies. Strategies were taken by Halodoc to finally increase the medicine buying rate by 300%, teleconsultation by 6 times, and doctor appointments by 3 times. Halodoc has also increased the downloads by 200% and 600% service demand. This is due to the adaptability to remote healthcare accessibility, which also helped fix the hospital bed scarcity problem. People with low to mid symptoms can do their own home care, monitored by Halodoc, so hospital beds can be prioritized even more. Second is the crisis management strategy. Halodoc was quick to adapt to the changing situation during the COVID-19 pandemic and introduced several features such as the drive-through COVID-19 test, rapid test and PCR, and COVID-19 vaccinations booking. Halodoc simultaneously worked with the Indonesian Health Ministry for initiatives to facilitate Indonesian people proper health services even during the crisis time. And the new services during the pandemic are listed as follows.
Third, the post-pandemic era. By the return of the new normal situation, Halodoc has come to the aftermath era, calmed down from the frenziness of the pandemic. Such a question asked would be, what is next? In this era, Halodoc has to hold the existing tension and wide audience regardless of the pressing crisis. The first strategy taken by Halodoc is an expansion. In Indonesia, Halodoc forecasts a potential in the market as more than 50% of the Indonesian population are the millennials and Gen Z, with great technology adoption rate. Other than that, Indonesian middle class segment also massively grow, that will in accordance help Halodoc expansion as the target market. Halodoc has also created a strong hybrid ecosystem, as people can already go back to normal routinity and access conventional hospital. In this case, Halodoc doesn't take the routinity as a harm, but instead synergize it for the hybrid optimization. Next, in the Southeast Asian nation, Halodoc is also planning for expansion in the region, which was also considered and prepared from 2022 in Vietnam, Thailand, and Malaysia. The second strategy is seizing the data analytics. Research on the current trend and market behavioral pattern, like needs and wants, helps a company forecast public reactions and perceptions upon certain actions. Halodoc has invested for the data analytics to gain insight and improve their services. As a user-centric platform, Halodoc utilizes the data collected to maximize a convenient and consistent user experience. Responding to the high demand for mental health awareness, Halodoc also innovated by inventing the mental health and parenting features. Also, Halodoc is currently able to identify user doctor preference and able to match them in the next visits. The company was also able to track the logistic data on its pharmacies and deliveries to understand which area has the higher and lower demand for medicines.
Most companies grow bigger when they face challenges strategically. Therefore, challenges matter to be measured, prepared, and evaluated to change the catastrophe to crackerjack inside a company. First challenge for Halodoc is the inevitable reliance on the R&D of the health industry, as several diseases cure and treatments are still yet to be accessed through online media. Therefore, while holding back to reach that point, Halodoc must innovate on ways to retain the existing customers, for example like hybrid services, and avoid the adoption stagnancy. Second, challenge is the tight competition with similar application. Mitigation for this matter is by building strong brand identity, legacy, and up-to-date features. Third challenge is the fragmented healthcare system. Indonesia's health case may be totally different with the other nations, and it might be harder to be identified due to the familiarity, accessibility, readiness, and mirror competitions. Therefore, Halodoc has to carefully manage the expansion in order to execute it well. By the overall Halodoc's journey, there are plentiful things to learn and apply. First is to work beyond the profit. Second is speedy adaptation to changes, and third is scalability, reliability, and security. Although Halodoc is not a philanthropy business, Halodoc makes way to focus on the creation of social value and believes that the economic value will follow. The legacy of Halodoc has finally proven that a social altruistic drive could be the fuel for a company to strive successfully, both in the social and business environment, killing two birds with one stone. Thank you.